A new Pentagon report has some bad news. China has surpassed the US military in 3 areas. Meanwhile, Mongolians in China are rising up, and China calls Australians white trash. That and more on this week's China News Headlines. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. Be sure to subscribe and follow the show on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So the U.S. Department of Defense has released its 2020 report on China's military. It says China has surpassed the U.S. in missile development, number of warships, and air defense systems. The report says China's goal is to develop a military by mid-century that is equal to, or in some cases superior to, the U.S. military, or that of any other great power that the PRC views as a threat. So China considers the U.S. a threat. It's kind of flattering, I guess. The report compares China's missiles with the U.S.'s. China not only has more, they also have much longer range. And China has ground-launched ballistic missiles while the U.S. does not. China also now has the world's largest navy, with 350 ships and submarines, compared to 293 for the U.S. The report also says in some ways China is ahead on integrated air defense systems. And while the report doesn't give specific recommendations for how the U.S. should respond, I wonder if more military funding might be suggested. When has the U.S. military ever asked for more money? But the U.S. is far from defeated. Even though the Chinese military has already surpassed the U.S. military in some regards, the U.S. has a secret weapon: Cold War bombers. How are decades-old airplanes supposed to help? Well, since January, the U.S. has been flying B-1 and B-52 bombers in the South China Sea, which China claims belongs to them. The sea, not the bombers. And apparently the message is the United States can threaten China's fleet and Chinese land targets at any time from distant bases without having to move America's aircraft carriers and other expensive surface warships within range of Beijing's massive arsenal of missiles. And that's because even though the U.S. planes are old, they can carry a huge stockpile of the latest cutting-edge stealth missiles. It's nice to know that vintage bomber never goes out of style. According to a survey by Kima, a Hong Kong-based supply chain inspection company, the trade war and the coronavirus have caused a lot of foreign companies to leave China. 93% of U.S. respondents reported that they had plans to further diversify their supply chains. But not a lot of these companies are coming back to the U.S. Vietnam continues to reap the most benefits of the continued mass exodus of Western buyers from China. But there is one Asian country that's becoming, quote, an indisputable leader, especially with American companies, and that is Taiwan. Speaking of Taiwan, Taiwan is redesigning its passport to have Taiwan in nice big letters, rather than what it used to feature, Republic of China. Apparently, some people had been confusing it with the People's Republic of China, which has been a big problem during the coronavirus. So to make it perfectly clear that this is a passport for the country of Taiwan and not China, which is a totally different country, the redesign. China was not too happy.
Regarding Taiwan unveiling the so-called new passport cover design that you mentioned, I think you probably know very well that no matter what petty moves the authorities of Taiwan's Democratic Progressive Party take, Taiwan is an inseparable part of China, and this fact cannot be changed.
Actually, that fact can be changed. That's why the U.S. State Department just released this big, long statement about Taiwan, and how great it is, and how much better it handled the coronavirus, and, oh yeah, the U.S. has long had a one China policy. This is distinct from Beijing's one China principle, under which the Chinese Communist Party asserts sovereignty over Taiwan. The U.S. takes no position on sovereignty over Taiwan. That's a kind of clarification the U.S. has never made before. China was not too happy.
What the U.S. should abide by is the One China principle and the provisions of the 3 China-U.S. joint communiques instead of the Taiwan Relations Act or the 6 assurances.
Yeah, America should abide by China's rules, not America's rules. And it's not just Taiwan that's trolling the CCP. The Czech Republic is as well. The head of the Czech Senate made a highly publicized state visit to Taiwan, where he said this. Check it out.
Please let me also express in person my support to Taiwan and the ultimate value of freedom, and conclude today's speech at your legislative yuan in Taiwan with perhaps a more humble but equally strong statement. I am Taiwanese.
Možná skromnějším, ale stejně důrazným prohlášením. Já jsem Tajvanec. Už Tchaj-wan žen.
And China was not. You get the idea.
So in this situation, the Czech Senate Speaker, in spite of multiple condemnations from China, in spite of the Czech government's opposing attitude towards his actions, he still had to go to China's Taiwan. Also, he openly called Taiwan a country, and now he's calling upon other European countries to do the same. Don't you think this is an open provocation? Therefore, we must tell the Czech Senate Speaker, you have crossed a red line.
Oh no, he openly called Taiwan a country. What dastardly thing will the Czechs do next? The answer is calling the CCP rude clowns. One local politician in Prague was so angry about what Wang Yi said that he posted a letter on his official Facebook page demanding an immediate apology. And from the translation I read, there appears to be a lot of swearing. By the way, this is his photo on his official Facebook page. I get the feeling that politics is a little different over in the Czech Republic. But considering all the support Taiwan is getting and how angry the Chinese Communist Party is getting, it's a good thing Taiwan's defense ministry still believes China lacks the ability for a full assault on the island. And after the short break, there's more tension between China and India.